Hello, and welcome to another devlog. If you haven't been here before, my name is Noah, and I'm working on my story-driven action platformer, THORNE, Book 1. If you like world building with a lot of lore, diverse characters, and cool combos, please consider sticking around and subscribing to the channel and checking out my social media. If you are a repeat watcher, definitely leave a comment and let me know. I've started to recognize some names and icons in my notification feed, and I'd like to talk to you guys more. I've noticed that about 40 of my subscribers follow me on Instagram, and if you want to keep up with the dev process, I post a lot of stories on there about the progress I'm making, and I also do polls from time to time, so you get to participate in decision making if that's something you want to do. More polls coming soon, I promise. Another update, and perhaps the most important one, the project is now available for download and will be updated every 2 weeks. The links to the Mac and Windows versions are down below in the description. You just export it and start it from the folder. It helps me a lot if should you decide to test it out, to give me any kind of feedback, as I've already learned a ton from letting my boyfriend and my friends play it. I'll talk a bit about what they said at the end, so if you agree with them, let me know. Anyway, I'm sure you're wondering about this hot little piece of UI in front of you. First off, I made the buttons blacked out versions of some of the early platforms that I made. I also made a hover animation by assigning functions to Unity's event system, which was quite handy to have. The little fireflies were absolute demons to code. I tried to optimize it as much as I could, but then I just gave up and coded the easiest thing I could think of. Sorry. I wanted to have them follow the player around, but since they're constantly calculating distance, it becomes super expensive if there's too many, and I just need to learn more about optimizing stuff and not have it eat up the game in the name of aesthetic and ambiance. My main problem was that I seemingly had to use vector 3 to do a smooth transition from one position to another, or else the fireflies would disappear into oblivion while changing their Z position at random. Don't really know what that was about, to be completely honest. For some extra spice, they calculate a new random follow speed every minute or so you have some variation on the screen. Lastly, I have a cool fading animation when I transition to a scene, so let's just do that. The first thing, as per usual, that I want you to notice is Clara's new design. I gave her a gun, and it's been a good decision. She also has these goggles that she puts on when she fires, but more on that later. Oh yeah, and the gun is also named Jenny. People actually voted for this design on Instagram, so I know I'm on a good track. The idea is that she channels her power into the gun and uses it as kind of a multi-tool Swiss knife kind of situation. It propels her upwards when she jumps, helps her stick to walls, dash, and such. Lore-wise, Clara's third eye has not been acquired in the quote-unquote proper way and constantly leaks energy that she absorbs, so she has to rely on various tools to help her channel it. I'm still debating on some aspects of the design, like whether I should just give her 2 handguns to make gameplay easier and animation more personality driven. We'll see. Now, I made the executive decision to separate all of my functions into different scripts, which makes the game perform better, but it also creates a lot of confusion with getting to the right thing, and there's so many components to it, making it appear very cluttered in the editor. I also made all my functions public for this reason, which doesn't really help the clutter problem, so what I'm thinking is creating a repository of sorts for all the different player components and just calling it from different scripts. It's a bit of work, but I think it will make me much happier. The little turret you see here is called Octavio. By the way, all of Clara's gear is made by her lover/boss, and he also names them all. The turret is called Octavio because he shoots 8 projectiles in a barrage if you hold down shoot. He also has a targeting function that you can use to get enemies at an angle, though I'm not quite sure that I'll be keeping him if I revamp the gun. Sad, but I'd rather the game feel fun and make sense than having to worry about too many mechanics that can essentially be replaced by something better. Next, the charge attack is supposed to serve as both a way to shoot a powerful projectile, expending 1 magic eye in the process, and as an entry point into more powerful combos. Like maybe if you hold up while releasing the charge, you'll shoot into the air and make it rain bullets. Or like if you charge up and then hold dash while releasing, you'll dash through enemies and deal damage. I have tons of ideas, but the one I have now is not the most effective. All players so far were a little bit confused and didn't even notice that you have different charge amounts and projectiles, so I don't know if I am just overcomplicating the situation. I think if I can make it simple, I should. I really like the bounce of these though. I've learned from the people who looked at the game that the dash feels quite clunky and more like a teleport, which I agree with. It's definitely getting a rework soon. I've gotten used to it, so it was very refreshing to hear an outside perspective on it. That's why I encourage you to let me know of anything that you might notice if you play it. That is mostly what I have for you this week. I did do a bunch more work, as you can see, probably like the animations and all the scripts. I've coded a lot in the last 2 weeks, but I just don't know how to implement that in a video and make it look interesting. I hope you enjoyed, and definitely let me know if you decide to play through the project and if you find any bugs or if you have any requests or thoughts, both for the game and for video ideas. I could always use some pointers as to what is actually interesting to talk about and what people want to hear about. You can leave a comment on here or DM me on Instagram. I'm starting to think that a better, faster approach to making YouTube videos is recording footage throughout the week and editing it as I I go, as each video that I've uploaded so far has been made on the same day. Yes, I am insane. I've started using Trello again to help me plan, and I'm timing my work, and that's helped my ADHD with getting stuff done and feeling satisfied. I have all these new ideas about how to organize and make my work easier and fun every time I sit down. It's just the consistency that I need to master. I would like to make a video about ADHD and how I organize and plan, but I'm still working on myself and how I handle being disabled, so I'm not sure that I'm a well of wisdom yet when it comes to working with ADHD. Anyways, take care, and I'll see you with a new video in 2 weeks. Bye!